Yeah, I mean, just our spacing and our reads, and knowing what our purpose was, with each lineup. We spent a lot of time after the OKC game, not just focusing on the plays, but the combinations we have out there. Like with this group out there, and especially because we're deep into our bench, you know, um, with this group out there, this is the package, this is the menu we want to go through, and then we change quarters, and we got a different group out there, and this is the menu, and our guys are executing that, bringing more purpose. I think Bradley Beal the last two games has done a phenomenal job organizing us. There's a lot of talk about us having a point guard, not having a point guard. He's doing a great job playing point guard for us. Playing a point guard, like leading our team and quarterbacking. And there's not even a lot of point guards around the league that can touch the paint the way he can touch the paint. So he had 8 assists tonight. Could have had a lot more with the guys making more shots, but he's doing a great job for us.
Curious with Grayson, obviously the 7 threes in the first quarter set a franchise record. He gave us his pregame meal, but it's got to be more than that. What are you seeing with him offensively?
Head coach tells him, when you make your first 7 threes, if you can make your first 7 threes tonight, let's try to do that. He's okay, great. I'll try to do that, and he went out and did it. And so I credit myself. No, I mean he knows his role in our system. He knows if he has any airspace, we want him to shoot it, and he's a great shooter. You know what I mean? I think everybody knew he was a good player, when he's coming in, but he's a great player, and he's playing phenomenally for us. I joke around with him a lot, but I just grabbed him and just told him how much I appreciate what he's done for our team this year because it's been phenomenal.
One other thing I had was at the end of the game, I saw you put the ball in his hands, let him do some playmaker. Is that the next step for him as a player?
Well, I think it was when Brad. Yeah, I mean, there's certain actions, where we want Brad to, be the recipient, or Brad is not in the game. Brad's not in the game. We don't have Nurk out there. He's got to play point guard. So I mean, again, invaluable. All the ways that he's contributing for us.
This is the second straight game where Nurk's dealt with some foul trouble, and Drew's been able to come in and make some impact plays. What have you liked about him being able to respond?
Yeah, it's the activity. I mean, he's so physical, so athletic. And when he plays within himself and stays away from turnover type of situations, he's really good and does a great job finishing for us. Battled through a lot of switching situations with some of the lineups. When they're shorthanded, doesn't always make them a worse basketball team. They become different. And they play with more shooting out there. They play with Kelly Olynyk, who's a very difficult 5-man to guard. And we wanted to get into a lot of switching, and Drew allowed us to do that. But he stepped up big time. Steady, man. He gives us a steadiness and a calm out there, and he makes subtle, great plays. You know what I mean? Stuff that doesn't always show up in the box score. Eric Gordon comes in and hasn't really got going. The ball swings in. Royce got a wide open 3. He goes one more to Eric. I don't think Eric made it, but just the awareness, right? That he brings to our team. Kev was struggling to score in the post. We get into a blender situation. He had a 3. He goes, nope. I'm gonna redrive and get one more to KD. KD hits a big bucket, and that opens up the rim for him. Now he starts to get going. He defends. He's a high IQ player, and he's giving us a big lift.
Toronto was at something like 6 points in the paint midway through the second quarter. How do you like the execution of denying that, but at the same time denying the 3-point line as well?
Yeah, we didn't guard the 3 well enough, but they were shooting a ton of them. I don't know what they ended up with percentage-wise, 36%. But they were on pace to shoot over 53s at halftime, and that's the way they've been playing of late. We knew we had to continue our paint emphasis, but really fly at their shooters. And Grady got going early, quickly got going, but it's a multiple effort type thing.
To expand on Kellen's question about not defending the 3 well, how do you plan to clean that up against Boston, which basically has a 53 plan per game?
Yeah, I mean tomorrow's our prep day. We'll guard all the go over all the action where they get their 3s. They got guys that shoot 3s in your face, and in step back ISO situations. So I'll dive into them tonight and tomorrow morning, and we'll have a good plan put together.
Coach, when you even just think about the Boston game, you were coming off the big win in Denver. Obviously, all eyes are on that Boston game. How your team responded tonight, considering they could easily win?
No doubt. It could easily have been a trap game. But we, Yeah, we said this morning we've lost too many of these games. With games we feel like we should take care of our business. But throughout the course of the season, we've been shorthanded a lot, and we let a little too many get away. But we want to make sure we got that game. Is the only priority for us. The Boston game was not. Denver doesn't count as 2 wins. Had to get this win. So our guys was really proud of how our guys came in and took care of business.
You were able to do what you guys did offensively tonight.
Yeah, I like what we did. Made shots, moved the ball. 29 assists. Pretty good. It's 14 turnovers. Could have been better. I had too many. But, yeah, we moved the ball, shot 50, 40, 90 almost, Solid game.
Curious with Grayson, when he starts out that hot, he said that he could hear rappers on the bench, don't leave him. Now all of a sudden, that helps you get one-on-one.
Yeah, most definitely.
That, right?
Most definitely. I mean, when you get 26 points from somebody in the first half, now the defense got to play a little honest and respect everybody on the floor because he's opening up the floor for everyone with his shooting, his quick shooting. And just 2 games in a row, he started off super aggressive for us, and that's what we're going to need going forward.
Curious with you and getting to the line, it had been a struggle with the Denver game, and I guess what do you feel like tonight maybe you did differently, if anything at all?
I mean, this is a young team, and you could tell they played a little different scheme. I could hear their coach just like telling them to body me up every time. So when you don't play like that every night, sometimes you're not really accustomed to that type of game, and you might be prone to fouls a little bit, So off the ball, I was able to get a couple fouls, guys reaching, just trying to play hard, nothing malicious, but you could be over physical if you're not really playing that brand of basketball every night. So I'm glad I was able to just play through it and get to the free throw line.
Coach, in a three-point shooting league, we know how quickly a team can get back into it. Coach was saying before the game, we've lost too many games like this. How did you like the way you guys jumped down in front and then were able to stay in front?
Yeah, we just kept our poise. They cut it to 5. I mean, this team you got to give them credit. They don't ever stop playing. They're a championship organization who understands how to win a basketball game, and they're not going to stop coming at you. And they cut the lead to 5, to 7 a couple times, but I felt like we still had good momentum. They made a couple threes to get them back into the game, but I felt like our defense was solid, and we was able to get some good shots on the other end. So it's just about playing through everything, having resilience, and understanding that team's going to make a run, especially the new era of basketball where the three-pointer could keep anybody in the game.
I don't get enough credit for how quickly you get off the ball, especially when how it comes from the post. That's something you always had, or when did you, in your career, when did you start mastering that? Yeah,
when teams start doubling more frequently. I mean, I didn't used to see as many doubles in the post earlier in my career, and playing quick basketball, we put 2 on the ball. That's usually, you've done your job at that point. So I just try to put 2 on the ball as much as I can. If they're going to double in the post, we're going to have to utilize that so we can get backside threes, drive. So I feel like, when teams start to put more pressure on me in the post and double me more, I just try not to get the assist, but just get the ball rolling for our offense. So it's been happening for a while now.
Coach was praising Brad for how he's been playing as a point guard. What do you think? What have you thought of him? How he's played without him?
Yeah, I mean, coach is expecting Brad to play a role. I mean, he's brought the ball up before, but I think he's playing like traditional point guard right now, where he's setting up the offense every single time down. He's giving up shots for his teammates. He's penetrating every time trying to kick out. So he's one of those players that can do everything, and any situation you put him in, he's going to figure it out. And he's an unselfish player. So when you're unselfish and you got the skills that he has, then you can adapt to anything.
How important is it to fight fire with fire, against Boston, who throws up a ton of threes?
Yeah.
And also Grayson, as hot as he is, and you're basically the grand closer, as Grayson's the grand opener.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to play our brand of ball, move the ball, take shots when they're there, try to keep the ball in our hands, not turn it over, and play physical defense, So we know this, and everybody in the league shoots a lot of threes. I feel like there's an emphasis in every locker room to get at least 40 threes up a night. Boston may get 60 threes up, 50 threes up some nights, because they got guys from 1 to 5 that can shoot threes. So we had nights where we got a lot of shots up, made a lot of threes with high efficiency. So we got to just be ready to play our game, but it starts on the defensive side.
When Grayson is shooting like that, what does the balance mean where you were seeing a lot of doubles in the first half, and then in the second half it was more single coverage to stay home on him?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like pick your poison. If you want to double me on the catch, then we're going to get backside threes, backside cuts. More than anything, we got stops and ran out. We was able to get a couple transition threes as well mixed in. So it wasn't just all off of post-ups or me being double. I think Grayson handling the ball, dribbling up, shooting threes, us getting stops, that helps the momentum to get more threes up when you can run in transition. So we just want him confident to be aggressive, and that's what he was tonight.
In the last couple of minutes, was that just a knock on the elbow, or are you good?
Yeah, just a little stinger, but it'll be all right.
KD, you guys won 45 games last year. It's 37 now. What do you think the potential of this team is?
I like where we are right now. I think we keep growing. I mean, that's the best thing about it is that we still got room to grow as a team, and we get more and more comfortable with one another as the days go on. So we only could get better.
Kevin, just kind of curious about your general thoughts on Boston's season so far, them coming in on Saturday.
They've been playing incredible. They had an incredible year thus far. Best starting 5 in the league by far. I think they had 50 wins already, 49, 48 wins. One of those. They got a big lineup with versatile guys up and down their lineup, and they've been around each other for a while now, so they understand one another. And adding Drew was huge. Adding Kristaps was huge. So we got our work cut out for us, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
With the rate they shoot threes, how do you balance taking the open shot and knowing that you'll have to keep up with them shooting threes potentially?
It's not really about trying to keep up with them. You know what I'm saying? We just be aggressive and take our shots that are there. So we can't try to just jack up a three because they jacked up a three. We still got to play our game and generate the shots that we usually generate. But more than anything, we got to be on point defensively for 24 seconds every possession.
With these next 3 games, do you view it at all over the course of your career as like a tune-up for the playoffs to sort of month out, or do you just use that every other game?
I feel like every game, every practice is a tune-up for the playoffs. First day of practice up until, the last time you get on the floor, I think is all the tune-up. You're looking to just get better and build habits as a team and as individuals.
Made from three, set career highs, franchise records. What'd you eat before the game?
Some salmon, potatoes. I was feeling good, just a little bit of carryover from last game. It got hot on the first few, and then guys started looking for me. Kev was looking for me. Nurk was looking for me with those screens and DHO, so I was able to I think I got 8 up in the first quarter to hit those 7.
Curious, obviously, when you get to the second half, you only get, I think, 2 shots. Is that just, do you notice the team shifting to get more attention to you, or what do you feel like leads to that? Because there are stretches where you'll start hot and then won't see the ball for stretches as well.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Like, I'm off the ball in most of our actions, so if they choose to hug up, then something else is going to be open. We ran a few, like our stack pick and roll action where, I could hear the coach yelling, don't leave him, don't leave him. So I set that screen. I think Brad got 2 or 3 layups off of it. So you just try to use that to our advantage. Like, just because I'm hot behind the line doesn't mean my threes have to impact the game. So I can be spacing, pulling defenders out. In the fourth quarter, we had that Kevin, my pick and roll, where they didn't really want to switch it. They didn't want to give up the 3, so I was able to drive, and we got a couple of open shots off that too. So it's not trying to – I would have liked to get more 3s up in the second half, but just not trying to force it and still getting good plays offensively.
Last thing I have for you, what's that like to know that you can still impact the game offensively without taking a shot because of what you established as a
Yeah, it feels good. It's taken me a while to realize that. Like, it's kind of been a little bit like later in college, and then once I got to the league, like my 3rd year in the league, where you start to realize like it's if I'm not getting the 3s, but my guy's hugging up against me, letting KD go to work. Like, they stopped doubling KD because we were getting 3s. So if they're gonna let KD go to work, like, I've done my job standing there because him one-on-one is what we want.
rotation and the rhythm that you are in?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I'm getting good looks. I'm getting like a mix of in rhythm looks versus like the quick ones that you kind of gotta get off versus a closeout. I had those like 2 games there where I think I was like 0 for 7 and 2 for 7, something like that, and it's a numbers game there. Like if I miss a bunch, I'm gonna make a bunch at some point. It's gonna even out. I know getting up more threes has been a focus for you guys. Can that be something of like a barometer for how well you guys are moving the ball based on how many of those you're able to generate? Yeah, I mean, when we're moving the ball and swinging it around, and like a lot of those ones I got came off like third, fourth, fifth pass in the possession where we got a couple driving kicks or Kev got double teamed and it swings all the way around the top. So it's usually us getting open threes as a result of good offense and good ball movement.
So the phrase is pick your poison with you guys, the amount of offensive threats you have. Are you surprised, though, that teams keep picking you, it seems like, and at least rotating off of you early in games, or do you get it?
I don't know. I don't know what I would do. Like, I'm sure there's analytics guys out there running the numbers on Kev's post-ups and versus him passing the ball out and us getting threes. So I think at some point, like, it's very matchup dependent. It's how confident are they, and they have a guy that can guard Kev one-on-one, or can they guard the ball screen up top 2-on-2, or do you have to pull a third defender in? Like, you got to pick something, and it's when we're clicking offensively and when we're at our best, we're no matter what the read is, like, we're getting our good shots.
And you're still doing this without Book, like being able to create those.
Yeah, and that's another guy that he needs a whole game plan for himself, and so when we get him back, it'll be even more dangerous.
I feel like how, when KD gets off the ball, his tendency to move it quickly out of those post-ups, I feel like that gets under-discussed with him. He might not rack up the assist totals, but he's getting off of it when he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting off of it at the right time. He's really patient, and he's not a guy that's trying to make the assist pass. Like, he just is making the right pass out of it. If we recorded hockey assists, he'd probably have 4 of them tonight. A couple of them were 2 passes off of his. So, it's nice to have a guy that you can just, you can get the defense in the closeouts quickly just by giving him the ball because they have to double him there. And he's so unselfish. He doesn't care if he shoots 0 points in a quarter, if he's getting doubled and we're getting open looks.
What do you think Royce brings to this team? Having a more reliable body out there?
A little bit of everything. He's defended 5 men in some matchups. He can defend 1 through 5. Switch out on anybody. I feel like every time I look up, his stat line is like 10-5-5-5. Like, he's doing a little bit of everything out there in the court, rebounding for us. He's a good ball mover offensively. Knock down shots. Also really good at driving kick, finding the open guy on the weak side or getting to the rim. He's initiated our offense some, so he's really doing a little bit of everything.
Grayson, I know a big focus for you guys after that Thunder game was lowering the turnovers, and you guys did a good job of that against Denver. What did you think of that area tonight?
What do we have? 14.
USC.
Yeah, we'd still like to have less. 14's a little high. But I do feel like we're getting better. And offensively, like, a lot of our turnovers come from just, like, dead possessions where we get stagnant. There's nobody moving to help out the guy who has the ball. And they get put in a tough spot where it's really hard to make a play or make the right play. And so I feel like we're getting better at that where we don't have those wasted possessions. It helps when we pick up the pace. Like, Brad's done a great job of pushing the pace and getting us down the court and into offense early, and so is Saban when he comes in the game, really picking up the pace, pushing it, touching the paint so we don't get in those possessions where the ball's still up top, 10 seconds left on the shot clock, we haven't done anything.
And not just you, but the entire team, what are you hoping to carry over from these last 2 games into the Boston game on Saturday?
Our fourth quarters have been good. I know we didn't make shots against Denver, but we got great shots. Our offense wasn't stagnant. We moved the ball. We got a bunch of great looks, and overtime we knocked them down. So I felt like these last 2 games we've closed out and finished games really well, defensively and offensively. And Fourth quarters and turnovers have probably killed us the most this year, and we're improving there, and so we got to keep going with that.
Thanks, Grayson.
Thank you.
Thanks.